my take on the Yared Nuguse 1500 meters run, time of 3 minutes and 27.80 seconds from 6 August 2024. I'm filming this a little over a week later on Wednesday, 14 August 2024. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I'm talking through the Yared Nuguse of the United States of America 1500 meters run race at the 2024 Summer Olympic Games in Paris, France. He won a time of 3 minutes and 27.80 seconds in the final on Tuesday, 6 August 2024. With his time, he achieved a personal best time in 3rd place. I provide my take/perspective on his performance and contextualize it in terms of adapting to the close finishes in track and field before his at the same Olympic Games by crossing the finish line with a lunging forward motion from the chest up. He was paying attention. That's my take. Anyway, I watched the race on the West Coast branch of the television channel Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, in the Seattle area, CBUT. Yes, so there was, before this, perhaps a notable one where they had a review footage and stuff like that to decide what came down to, the 100th kind of thing. Unrequired review is the 100 meters dash, and that happened before the final of this event. And so I was watching, and some of the runners kind of adapted their running style, and I'm going to guess that they saw the result and they were like, well, if it's coming down to it, you want to, the takeaway from the 100 meters dash was whoever's head crossed the finish line wins. So essentially, if you're a runner and you're close, you want to run forwards. And some people, I'm putting emphasis here on, he kind of had a lunging forward motion, because some people run forwards kind of like at a tilt, and some people it's kind of like a whole body lunge, and then sometimes it's kind of like a postured lunge. And so I would consider Yared Nuguse on the kind of, he took a little bit of like a postured approach, so it was kind of a chest up lunging forward motion, and I interpreted his action at the finish line as he was paying attention. He was like, this is close, so like you can see kind of who's around him, and he's like, I need to do this, and so he did it. Because he was 1/100th of a second behind at the finish line, Josh Kerr, Great Britain. So, like, if there's a time to lean forward, it's then, if that's like, yeah, might as well go for it. And he got 3rd place, he got a bronze medal and a personal best time. So 2 Americans made the podium, and I think I heard or read or saw somewhere that it was the last time 2 Americans made the podium in this event, 1500 meters run for men, was 1912, so 112 years earlier. And it is an interesting thing because of the 2 Americans who made the podium, I'm only, at least currently, choosing to highlight Yared Nuguse because he has an international presence. He's someone who I've seen race in a number of things, like in terms of keeping up with people on events both inside the United States of America and outside. He was the only of the 2 medalists that I would say has achieved, there's a difference between notability and notoriety, right? In name recognition and face recognition. And of the 2 Americans that made the podium, Yared Nuguse is the only one that kind of achieves all those check marks for the Americans, for this particular podium. So it was kind of an interesting thing to think about. Sometimes it's there's 2 that made the podium, but that doesn't mean their performance repertoire or track record, not repertoire because that's the events they run. So track record, as in things they've already done, can come into play in terms of, just because somebody places higher on a podium doesn't mean they might have the same legacy as somebody who still makes the podium but gets a lower medal, right? So it was kind of an interesting race in that sense of kind of a result that, at least I would say it was a predictable result. However, that does not mean I picked the people, if that makes any sense. It was like, let me guess, they're just going to want to take the gold medal from the Norwegian guy, right? Which, yeah, okay. and they're going to put another American on the podium. So that was very predictable, and kind of was predictable at the 2020 Summer Olympic Games. I even, for this one, oddly enough, even got the names of the people right. However, I did not necessarily pick them, right? I picked other people. And part of picking is being like, I like this person and I want to see what they do, right? It's not necessarily always about having a certain result. I did like Yared Nuguse, however. It was an interesting result in that sense of not really a shocking result in any sense. And if one is familiar with American kind of petty dynamics, very predictable. However, they still had to pull it off, right? So there's that component. There was still athleticism. There's still I think everybody who made the podium had a personal best time. So it's kind of like they still had to show up and do well, okay? So there we go. That's my take on the Yared Nuguse 1500 meters run, time of 3 minutes and 27.80 seconds from 6 August 2024.